Hello, 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 and welcome to the Heart, Mind, and Voice Show. Hello, ladies. How are you
Hello.
Oh gosh.
tonight? On the talk show.
Already started.
We're so
My
happy
goodness.
here tonight. We are all looking amazingly beautiful tonight. We're so excited. This is what I consider our third edition of Being Spirit Mind. Hello, just wait. We got more in store for you in the coming Saturdays. So we're so excited to be with everyone tonight. How are you ladies doing? Wait, first of all, I am tonight Judge Coach Shalonda.
Oh God.
Oh no. I
If
wish I
anybody
could
got
take that from you, Lord.
I know I'm gonna have a headache tonight. Like, oh my God. That's all I'm gonna hear is
everybody know, if you don't know now, you know I am dressed as 1985 U.S. Supreme Court Justice Judge.
She
Judge
got the
Coach
full
Shalonda.
character mode.
that part.
So please respect the court. I'm sorry, the show. We're gonna move on to Miss Sirius K tonight, and please tell us who you are so beautifully.
I'm your butterfly angel. I love butterflies. So I had to do it.
Oh, I just love those wings. Lord have mercy.
Thank you.
Oh, and the headpiece. Oh,
Thank
and
you.
you're so welcome. And we have our lovely Queen A. Tell us
Cleopatra.
who you are.
I am the Egyptian queen.
Where did music go?
Yes,
You
yeah.
know what? Don't get me started.
You look absolutely stunning. Well, you all look great and amazing. So the way you're all looking tonight, I was just saying earlier on the show, I don't know if it was just you and I, Serious K. It could have been all of us, but I was saying, I can only imagine how a real judge feels. I felt so prestige. Like I felt like I had a little power there. We're gonna talk about
Oh,
that. I said, what?
Oh, Lord. I can't. I
you
can't. I
know what,
can't.
Lord?
One of our favorite guest co-hosts will be on next week. And I wish he was on tonight. This is perfect for him.
Yeah,
Donald.
you should have saved it for next.
Let's keep it for next week,
So
though.
when he's on, we're gonna be like Donald.
Well, you could be Judge Maybelline. You just gotta get you some
I
short
gotta
hair,
get that
some
short
short
wig.
hair on, and yeah, you could be. You can come back as any judge you want.
Oh, God, honey, we gonna need some order for real. But how was your week this week, ladies? How was everything? Give me some good info.
Well, my week was a work hard, play hard. And
Oh,
yeah, so it was more work than play, but it was definitely a work hard, play hard week. And it just the exciting thing with work, and there's a lot of things happening and it keeps me busy. But look, I had to find time to play hard. So
yes, absolutely. What about you,
Mhm.
Serious K? How was your week?
Yeah, mine was very busy. Um, but we did get a chance to go to a wedding last night, and
Mhm.
I was so super tired. I was like, oh my God. At one point, like y'all, I was in the shower and I thought I was gonna pass out. That's how
Oh,
tired I was.
gosh.
oh
Like
my
I was
God.
thinking about screaming and calling my husband and say, I think I might pass out. Like it was that bad.
Oh
Wow.
my
I'm telling you, I felt dizzy, but it was probably because I hadn't eaten much. I
God.
started the keto diet, right? So you don't eat a lot of carbs and stuff. And
Yeah.
but I also all I had was like a smoothie yesterday. I just had a
Oh,
smoothie. So I mean, I know my body was missing a lot of stuff, so I was tired. But later on, after I ate, I started to feel a little bit better. But the wedding, it was beautiful. The bride was beautiful. It was real
oh,
nice. And we left there last night, and I know they were still there, like celebrating. So
oh,
it was nice.
yeah.
I can't wait
Oh,
to go to my wedding, y'all.
I know.
we can't wait either. Weddings are so much fun and just it
Mhm.
really puts you in that energy of love and just really having a good time and celebrating one another.
Yes.
So I love weddings. I think I saw that on your post, Kim, when I saw you and your husband looking so beautiful. I think you said I love weddings or something like that.
Yeah.
So,
Hmm.
Yeah, I love weddings too.
yeah,
Yes.
weddings are so sorry. Weddings are so beautiful. So, well, congratulations to that couple.
Hmm.
So we
Yeah.
wish you meaning a lifetime of happiness and love, just a lifetime of happiness.
Yeah.
So, well, we're going to go ahead and get into our show. We all seem to have had a very busy week. I too had a busy week and even busier one next week. I don't even want to really think about it because my schedule will be all over the place. So I'm just going to pray for God's grace and mercy to abound
Yes.
because I'm going to
Yes.
come next week. But that's okay. That's okay. Before we get started, we would just like for our HMB fam, hello everyone, to please like, share, and subscribe on our YouTube page. Please like and
Yes.
share on our Facebook page. And please stay tuned and join our Patreon. Our Patreon will be coming up in the coming month, November. So we're going to end this year out with a bang as we have had
Yes.
a very successful show. First time running. This is I cannot wait to celebrate our anniversary. Oh,
Yes.
Mm, oh,
Well,
yeah.
you know what? We have been already into a year, right? It's been a
yeah.
year for us.
January.
Yeah, in January. Is it the end of
Hmm.
December? Oh, Lord, we don't even know. We need to look at
January.
producer. Tell us about the
Wow.
first show.
Mhm.
But yes, so we'll be celebrating. We're gonna make sure we want to do something huge, big, and invite all of our fam, HMB fam, friends and family, some of our memorable guests and co-hosts. So we want to have a lot of fun on that
We should
anniversary.
bring all of our guests all into one
Oh yeah, that would be
Yeah.
so good if
and
we could
have a
all,
little celebration party and find out what everybody up to. Yes.
absolutely bring a
Mhm.
BYOB. Be a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Well, before we get started, I just would like to acknowledge my son. He received a medal this
Text him.
today.
Yeah, you gotta text him. He
Oh, that's
remember.
right.
He's
It's
VIP.
oh,
Wait,
Sarah
wait,
forgot.
order, order.
My son,
Oh Lord.
my son, David Brian Norman Jr., known as DJ Moo Moo Lil Man. Oh, he's gonna kill me.
Yeah, he got that moo.
Please don't say
Moo
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 on the
Lil
show.
Man.
Hmm.
DJ, I mean, Bud or Buddy. he received he received the Player of the Week medal. He plays little football, whatever they call the little football team. But he received Player of the Week this week, and he plays with the I9 Sports, and they have little teams all over the DFW. And he had a wonderful time today because he got acknowledged for a good deed for paying attention and playing great in offense and defense. And what else did he tell me, y'all?
Oh,
Just
Lord.
doing a
Listening
wonderful.
to the coach.
Listen to the coach, a great team sport player, right? A
Yes.
great team player. That's right. He's a great team player. So we just want to acknowledge him. I'm trying to text and let him know. I mean, let everybody know, give him a shout out.
Yeah.
But he did tell me that if he's not able to tune in, he will be sure to watch.
Oh, congratulations, DJ.
Yeah, congratulations,
Thank
DJ.
you, he's not gonna like that. But that's my baby. We all have little nicknames for our babies. So let's move on to our hot topics tonight, lady. Oh, this show right here, I tell you, we're going to talk about money, sex, and power, honey. I don't know who does not like to talk about money, sex. Uh-oh, I hope that's not him tuning in.
Oh,
Money, X, and power. Money, X, and power, everybody. Money, X, and power. Put whatever you want in front of X. Money, X, and power. We're going to start off with Lord. I don't know if that's him, but we're going to start off with one topic, stealthing. So we don't know if everyone is familiar with stealthing. I'm gonna tell you something. I was not familiar with stealthing. Didn't know what it was. It was that shows you right there. I'm not in that type of world as frequent as stealthing had to be put into a law. in the state of
mm.
California. I believe it's the first state that has put this into law. So, for those of you that do not know, stealthing is when the two consented adults, we pray, when two consented people come together and have sexual intercourse, and the guy decides to remove the condom without, thank you so much, producer, without letting his partner know. So you know you getting it in, honey. You getting it. But you know, I thought about, but you know, I've been told this has never happened to me, but I have been told that sometimes the condom may slip off. So I wonder, does it
Yes.
apply then?
Yeah.
I guess not, because he's not taking it off. Well, go ahead, go
Yeah.
ahead.
That's interesting. Like, because I never thought about that, because sometimes, right, it can slip off.
Mhm.
But what if, I think, but so that's a hard case to fight, because what if it slips off but he knows about it? How can you prove that that he actually purposely continued on even when it came off? So that's very
Exactly.
interesting.
You
But
know what? They
mhm.
probably do it get the wrong size on purpose so it can't come off, or trying to overcompensate for something they don't have and getting the wrong size and it come off. So you know better. You're a grown man, so you know what size you wear. You know, trying to sneak one in on somebody.
All right now, serious case. Well, so
Mhm.
and see, that's something else I didn't know. So, magnums are really for magnum sizes.
That part.
So what's the little bitty sizes?
Regular, I guess.
Oh, oh Lord, y'all crazy.
I wonder. See, I didn't know that that was really the truth. That magnum are for nice endowed men, right? I didn't know that.
But
So wow.
it's interesting because, like, not to get graphic, but they do have certain like lambskin condoms. It's very, very thin. So it could be possible that it comes off or whatever. So it's, I guess there's things to that. But that I mean, I don't know. That's kind
Yeah,
of
see,
weird that men, but
that's why we gotta hurry up with the Patreon, because there's so
yeah.
much that goes into that.
Serious
Because
case, how we pay some things.
you
So we
all
can
I'm
discuss
saying
it
is
here.
that, first of all, you gotta know your size. Then second of all, there's certain things you can't do when you have a condom on, because it may come off. So there are certain strokes and thrusts, and you probably shouldn't be.
Like, yeah, you said
That's
certain
all
stuff.
I'm saying.
And
That's all I'm saying.
what if it's kind of rough too? Be getting it rough too. That's another
Yeah,
thing.
that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't be, you got some protection on, and you can't do all that stuff.
But what
I'm
happens,
not
right? So
serious.
what happens if he was to cut it a little bit, right? What happens if that's the case? If he was to cut it purposely? So
Oh,
I
what?
don't
see,
know the law that
that's
well.
So,
the stealthing, right?
but wait, what about this? What if the condom breaks and he continues on? Is that against the
Ooh,
law?
ooh, that's a fight.
Ooh.
Yeah, that
Well,
should be against the law.
I mean, because it
I'm
has happened. It has
yeah.
happened where the condom has broken, and some people be like, "Oh, and stop and put another one." And some, you hit in the moment, you're like, "Wait a minute, you want to continue." So
Well, go ahead.
I
Mhm.
guess it becomes an issue if she says stop,
Stop.
but
Yeah.
right. So yeah, because if it breaks, then what? And what if she try to sue him if she gets pregnant? Because it's a law now in California. It's a law now. So what if she the condom broke and he continued on, but she never said nothing. So
Right.
it's just that's very
Well, they
interesting.
need to add this to it, because that thing goes both ways.
Yeah.
You have stories about women putting holes in condoms,
Oh
Mhm.
yeah. Especially
and giving it to him.
celebrities.
He don't know, oh, I got one, use mine, because, whatever reason I'm sensitive, or I can't use that kind of whatever. And
Well,
she
I'm
put a
trying to get
hole in it,
done.
trying to get pregnant, or she cut it. I
Right.
mean,
You know
so
what?
they need to add that.
That's why it's best to go together to get them. Because I know for me, well, should we say
Hmm.
this Patreon
Or you can
conversation?
just buy them yourself and just hand them to the guy.
Make
Have,
sure it's a new, fresh box.
Right. That's what I'm saying. You have to make sure it's
but
new.
wait a minute. So we go back to the magnums now. What if he's not magnum status? And
She
like
should ask. She can ask him what size you wear.
Oh Lord.
the girl go buy him a box of magnums, and he,
That's
Oh,
you know what in that instance he might not, he might go "Whoop," because that's an embarrassment. Like, you can like, hey, here's some manuals. He like, well, I don't wear magnum sizes. So,
Yeah.
so that's an embarrassment. But you know what? It's good to have these conversations because like for me, I'm sensitive to certain type of condoms. So
Mhm.
I know which kind is best for me because of my body. But it's good to have that conversation
Mm.
before engaging sexually because
Mhm.
if you don't, say he got a condom and the woman's allergic to it, then what?
Yeah.
And he in the
Right,
moment he's gonna be like, well, let me, put it in unprotected. So yeah.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh wow. And I wonder what happens when you're allergic to rubbers and or condoms. I'm sorry. And
Oh,
yeah, I wonder what
Well,
happens.
they do have certain types, of course, that because they
yeah.
do have people that's allergic to it, like latex, especially Trojans. Trojans doesn't. I shouldn't be saying this, but it doesn't work for me. Like
People need to know.
so I'm very allergic to Trojan. So other types may work for me, but I
Yeah.
kind of know what works for me. I'm not gonna get into that's a Patreon conversation, but
Yeah.
but Trojans is very thick latex. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
we know in California, so men, if you guys speak about condoms, wear your condoms. And I would assume, I'm not sure if this is in stone with the law, but I would assume any parts of removal of the condom would probably be stealthing. Any part, if they cut the tip, and my thing is, why would you cut the tip? I don't. What's the difference?
so it can pop and
Yep.
it can roll.
So it can roll all the way up.
Yeah. Hmm.
The condom rolls all the way up.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I'm
It,
getting educated on this tonight.
because of course the tip will pop, and as Kim said, when it pops, it rolls. The rest of it will roll up. So
Mm-hmm.
Never understood that because I don't understand how can semen make a condom pop. You know how sometimes they say it pops and she got pregnant. How? It's just
Well, that's kind of like what I was saying earlier. You can't, certain things you just can't do when you wearing a condom.
so
You
the
have to be
position.
careful. Yeah.
Okay, so the
and
position.
another
Be
thing too,
mindful.
and right, and it depends on the woman lubrication as well. So
Mm-hmm.
that's a whole nother thing because that can pop because of that. So yeah,
Yeah.
Condoms are lubricated though, right? Don't
yeah,
they
but
come?
still, it's the
Well,
woman.
but
Like,
yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. Woo. so so we had a little sex education order on the show.
you know what, Lord.
Everybody's out there watching, and you're like, oh, okay, they're all into the condom talk tonight. No, we're talking about the law.
Wait,
Still
wait, wait. I have my one of my co-hosts just text. That's way too much info.
I'm sure I know who that
People
is.
need to know.
But people need to know that, especially when today, especially, all it's like, sex sells in all shapes, form, and fashion. Sex sells. So I'm sure you guys saw the picture of what's her name? Lord help. Lizzo in her body dress suit. Did y'all see that
Yeah.
picture?
Mm-mm.
Yes.
I didn't see it.
Good serious K don't see. But anyway, oh no, don't see.
Look, she's look. She's like, this is all my glory, and I'm loving it.
Yeah.
She's very confident.
Anyway,
She's got a lot of confidence. Yeah. She
Yeah.
does.
she's extremely talented. She is
Well,
extremely talented.
wait. So I had something like this. This is like when okay. So at one point I had a lot of weight on me, right? You know, Coach Shalonda says she's afraid of sometimes what I might say. Like I don't know. I'm an open book. I can't help it. But
Mhm.
I'm be very good. So years
No,
ago, right?
no. No. Let it all out.
Years ago, I had taken a picture in Jamaica and I had a lot of weight on me, right? And I had on the outfit like that, like a see-through outfit. And I thought I was looking good, like honey, I thought I was flawless. I was looking good, like posing. And then I look back on social media. I said, when you go back, like at that moment, you may feel confident, but once you start putting your
Mhm.
body in shape and doing the work, and you go back and you look at it, you're like, what the hell was I thinking?
Yes.
So
My
she
problem is I forget. I forget that I'm not the size that I was 5 years ago. Sometimes when I put something on, I'm like, I look like that. I thought I still look like
Right.
that.
Yeah, right. So,
I don't think you were as big as Lizzo though on that picture. I don't think you
well,
were.
it wasn't sexy.
I don't think she was that size.
No,
And
I wasn't that big. No, but you know, I'm sorry.
but
My
right, but it was
my
still, you know, yeah.
my dude is acting up. I'm sorry. I gotta fix it, y'all.
I remember seeing the picture Serious K, and I was like, oh, okay. If I ever get you, oh, okay, just know, something's wrong.
Yeah.
And I was like, why y'all didn't tell me? They sit up there snapping pictures. They tagging me on social media. I took them all down.
They were odd men.
But you know what? She may enjoy being that size. There's some women who enjoy being big and they think it's
Yeah.
sexy. Sometimes they think, you know, they feel because it's all about how you feel. So she
Yeah.
probably feels Coach her face. She probably feels sexy, and you know, is how she feel. To other people may not look that way, but to her is she feels sexy. Coach,
Yeah.
stop it. So, but I'm pretty sure if she did the work and she went back and you know, she looked back and look at that picture, she probably be like, "What was I thinking?" You know, when you
And it
start,
was,
when your body start transforming, you do feel
yeah,
differently.
yeah, you do,
Mhm.
you do. You know, but you know what? It makes me also think of her friends, like her friends around, because you know, friends will be honest. Like, Queen A knew that I had nothing good to say about her picture. She knew that I
Mhm.
was like, okay, you know, like, mm-mm.
Mhm.
But you know, I didn't do it in a hurtful way, and but I made sure that she knew, no, not that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but later on, she was like, "Girl, what the hell was you thinking?"
But I do
Yeah.
wonder, you know, about friends, and it is hard. Serious care, which it is hard when you know your friend is looking a certain way, and it's hard to tell them you may want to try a different pair of shoes or whatever the case,
Yeah, yeah.
or
I
different
don't.
lipstick.
I think that's good. I think you should, because I do. Because my
Yeah.
thing is like my friends. I love my friends,
Hmm.
and I don't want you going out like looking crazy and somebody talking about you. I don't want nobody talking about my friend. So I'm gonna
Exactly.
say, hey, friend, you know, you might want to do this, or you
Right.
know, it don't look right, or whatever. I think you should. You shouldn't let your friend go out like looking any kind of way and not say anything. Like, what kind of friend are you? And because
Exactly.
I know, like, if somebody starts talking about my friend and I'm there, I'm gonna defend them.
Lord have mercy.
So,
I
no,
gotta bang the gavel on that. I'm sorry.
yeah, I don't think she should have done that.
I mean, oh Lord.
Yeah, I don't think she should
You
have
know what?
done
It's
that.
like she's trying to prove a point. I don't know what the point is, but she's trying to
Well,
prove a point. I
well,
mean,
you
you
know,
know,
Yeah,
you could be big and curvy, but not kind of have your stomach hanging over.
yeah,
or clout, or you know, it could be clout, or you know, she's coming out with some
yeah,
music. Because you know, a lot of times when people are coming out with something, they want to kind of, you know, get everyone going because they're coming out with something new. So we're going to be focused, tuned in on, you know, on that, on them at the moment. So whatever they're coming out with, we want to know because we want to know more about them. So, and I'm all about, as it's been spoken, all about being happy and content with your body, and you know, and how you look, and self-love. But I think even when you love it, just because you love yourself doesn't mean you have to expose yourself to the world. You know, you may,
yeah.
yeah. I just think
It's yeah, like you said,
her
I'm all
mom
about.
should step in, or family should step, or you know, if she has siblings, her mother or her friends should step in, and I don't know, and just
Yeah,
you know,
it's all about. I'm all about self confidence and promoting
yeah,
self confidence, but everything has to be done in taste. Even if
yeah,
she had a bam bam body, it's like, why would you wear, like, you can see her whole body.
yeah,
Everything has to be done in taste,
yeah.
because I see some big beautiful women and they look good. I mean, you know, they have their clothes on, they look good, looking
Mhm,
classy,
mhm.
tasteful, and it's like, girl, go on working, you know.
Yeah,
But this just was not
and
tasteful.
it's
Nobody's body
amazing.
shaming her. It
Yeah,
just was not done in taste.
not at
Right.
all.
Not
It's
even
amazing
Unless
because it's amazing because she came out and everybody just was talking about her, and you know, good and bad with everything. I think more bad. But and then Steve Harvey wife came out with with a dress similar. I think hers had rips and nothing. Steve Harvey wife, Marjorie. Nothing was said.
Right.
I mean, probably some stuff said, but it wasn't nothing. Not too much
Negative.
negativity. You may have heard one or two individuals that say, "Oh, you need to put on a bra," or "Oh, that's doing too much," but nothing compared to what Lizzo. What you was gonna say, Queen?
So
Queen.
unless if she's at carnival, something like that, like a festival carnival, that's how they dress. They
Or Vegas,
yeah.
Yeah.
So because
or a
I've been
strip
to like a
club.
carnival event, it's just a strip club. Because I've been to like a carnival event and people, they showing their bodies, especially West Indians. That's typical for them. So I can see if she was at something
Mhm.
like that. And because a lot of them do that, and it's nothing to it. But it seemed like she's just trying to prove a point. What that point is, I don't know. And it seemed like the more people talk, the more she probably, you know, go about doing this. So like you just maybe being rebellious about it. I don't know. So it's
But
like,
you can't come on next week crying though. You can't get on
yeah,
Instagram making
right.
videos next week crying saying y'all saying this about me, y'all doing this, y'all doing that. Don't do it and people won't talk.
Yeah, exactly.
That
And
is
to
so
her,
true.
again, she may feel like that, like I look good. She may feel sexy, but to the public,
Mm.
that don't really look too good. You can be big, but be sexy about it. Not have your
Be
hips out.
sexy, yeah.
Right. Like, so I can say she wore like a little what's those things called? It's not a girdle, but it's something else when you can wear in the public.
The body shaper,
It's I mean that's under your clothes, but it's
corset.
something. Yes, you can wear like a corset
Hmm.
and make it
Yeah, yeah.
sexy. So it is
Hmm.
ways you can to do things to kind of spruce it up and make yourself a little bit, look a little bit sexy. So and
Yeah.
I mean, look, I love to be free too. Like if, so look, if, I mean, look, but I mean,
We're gonna move on. It's good to be free. We all love to be free. We
but
do.
not
We
like
all love
that
to be
though.
free.
I'm not gonna be showing my breasts and like I'm not gonna do it. I probably show cleavage, but I'm not gonna
Right.
do all of that though.
Yeah, we all love to be free, but like Serious Case said, just be tasteful about and be mindful. And I don't know, do you know how? I don't know Lizzo's age. I don't know her age, so I don't know if she's
Yes.
like really
Yeah.
young in her 20s.
Oh,
And that explains a lot.
our producer said this was Cardi B's dance hall birthday party. The theme was dance hall pasa pasa. So that's why, because that's the whole thing with dance hall. So in dance hall, they come dressed like that. So mhm. And nobody necessarily take advantage. I mean, nobody necessarily say anything. Nobody judges them because it's just typical, especially for West Indians.
Yeah, we need to get Patreon real quick.
Okay, so we're gonna move on to
That's all I'm gonna
the
say.
next topic. Wendy Williams. We all know the great talk show host Wendy Williams, who has made an empire off of gossip. Oh, can you imagine how she would have went in on Lizzo? But she is
Woo!
walking away allegedly from daytime talk. For now, we don't know if she's going to ever return, or maybe she's what we think reinvented herself. So Wendy Williams, she will not be returned to the show. At least we know for now. And they're going to have, I believe, panel. I can't see all that. But they're going to have like a panel that will be hosting her show for now.
Mhm.
So different talk show hosts or guest talk show hosts that will be hosting her show and having conversations about the latest and the greatest. So, so long, Wendy Williams. Wendy Williams, now we all know she's extremely controversial. She, like I said, she has made an empire off of her mouth, her comments. So she's been very smart about, the way she's maneuvered throughout the years and gossiping and talking about individuals. Many people say this is karma because it's due to her health. The reason why she's not returning now is due to her health. She's undergoing some severe health conditions and she's taking care of herself. But I definitely foresee Wendy Williams not um, leaving the media's eye. I definitely see her possibly reinventing herself. I think a podcast would be great for her, or a Facebook Watch show would be great for her with the type of show that she's a genius at. Uh, and she's a genius at. But, in my hearts of hearts, I really hope that she comes back totally different, totally
Yeah.
bipolar opposite. Ladies, tell
Mhm.
me what you think. What do you think, Queen A?
I believe that, sometimes we have breakdowns in life for us to just kind of get our minds together, our emotions together, and also for us to reinvent ourselves. I feel like her season of her life in terms of talk show is up. So sometimes breakdowns happen for you to
Move on.
turn your life around, or do something different. I can attest to that in many ways, how my life is completely different, not what I expected, even a career that I'm in. So sometimes things have to happen. And she went through several major things, not only health wise,
Hmm.
but she had a breakup, and then
Yeah.
she loved her husband, and not only that, he had a child outside of, I mean, within the marriage. So that's a lot to really take in. I believe she's been battling some things emotionally for years, though, but it took a
Hmm.
toll when all these different things was beginning to occur in her life. So it's very interesting because the church I used to go to in New York, his name is Bishop Jordan. He prophesied. He was on her show, and he prophesied to her that she was going to go into TV, and then it's going to be a part of her. Life is going to happen, and she's going to end that career and maybe go back to radio or possibly like podcasts. So I definitely think she'll be great for podcasts. She may return to radio. I don't know. But I pray for her because
Yeah.
that's a hard thing to really go through, especially your livelihood was a talk show. That's probably what kept her sane.
Yeah.
So, but it's interesting
Mhm.
too how things come back because she was in the public talking about everybody, and now she's in a reverse role. Now
Yeah.
people are talking about her. Now people are gossiping about her. So that's a hard thing to deal with.
I know. Serious K, what do you
Yeah.
think?
Yeah, I agree with Queen A. That's the thing. It's like you make sure you have your ducks in a row before you get out here talking about everybody else's business. And when stuff was going on in her personal life, she kept denying it and denying it. And then it's like this bomb just came down on her and everything came out and then she had to say it. I think at that point, that's the point then where she should have quit
Hmm.
because then her mental health was in jeopardy. She's under all this stress. She's got Graves' disease. She had already passed out on the show before
Hmm.
this stuff happened with her
Right.
ex-husband. And so I believe at that point, that's when she should have checked out. That's when she
Right.
should have, because didn't she like have a relapse on drugs or something and she had to go to the
Hmm.
rehab?
Hmm.
Hmm.
For her overall well-being, I think that she should go away like for quite some time, like maybe 5 years. I
Right.
say minimum five, five
Hmm.
Yeah.
years, and regroup, get herself together, figure out what she wants to do. Now, when I used to watch her show early on, because as the latter years, I
Yeah.
stopped watching it because it was just too much of a
Yeah.
emotional roller coaster for me.
Hmm.
Right.
So,
Right.
but early on, she was so good. She talked about fashion a lot. She would repurpose her jeans. She said, "Oh, y'all like my jeans today? These are some old jeans. Let me tell y'all, I'm cheap." She would put like stones on them. She would do her tennis shoes. She would
Hmm.
take her clutches and make fanny packs. So I kind of see Wendy doing something in fashion, and I agree with both you guys. She'll still be doing a talking job because she likes to talk. So whatever it
Hmm.
is,
Yeah.
I think she'll still be talking, but I
Hmm.
think she should add fashion into it, like something on TLC. I don't know, but something more laid back, something that feels good, and
Hmm.
it promotes positivity because
Yeah.
she needs that right now in her life, but she really needs to take a back seat right now, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. She does.
But you know what? She said something before. She indicated that she wanted to go into possibly teaching. So I think
Mm,
she already knew that she was going to reinvent herself. Possibly it was maybe they was going to take her show off the air. Maybe that's why she had a breakdown. I believe some things probably could have happened in the background that we probably didn't know anything about.
Right.
Because
mhm.
she's I think it was last year she began to talk about giving
Teaching.
back to people and teaching people about communication, being a radio show. I mean, being a radio show host, being on TV. So she did talk about reinventing herself last year. So it's very interesting that now it's coming about. So
Yeah.
I think that she realized this is something that had to be done. And
Yeah.
it's hard when you've been in something for so long and something that you love and you have to suddenly change it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's interesting how your life uproots sometimes. Like suddenly your life have to uproot and you just have to flow with it and flow into it. But
Yeah.
in the end,
Yeah.
typically when you going with it instead of going against the flow, it ends up well.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I actually believe that I always say every 5 years, women, we mature and we change.
That's
Yes.
right.
And we start to see things in ourselves, kind of like y'all. I know y'all saw the video with Tabitha talking about God created us for many things. We
Yes.
start seeing different things in ourselves. We start discovering different things about ourselves
Yeah.
and saying, hey, you know what? I can do more. God wants more from me. I got to get out of this, because sometimes your job can become too much. Your career
Yeah.
can become too much,
Yeah.
because now I'm a different person, and I'm
Yes.
Yeah.
discovering that back there is, this part of that is a little bit too much for me. So I want to move on into something else. And that's kind of how I feel sometimes about my career. Sometimes it's a bit too much. It's a bit too taxing on my body. And I'm discovering that now I care a lot about my body and my
Yeah.
well-being. As when I was younger in my 20s, I'm standing up in stiletto heels doing hair. I'm not caring about my body. Now I care about my body. And I'm like, okay, eventually I'm going to have to do something sitting down, but still helping people. It's still going to be in that capacity of helping people, but I need to get off my feet. I need to take care of my body, because when I get ready to retire at 60 or whatever, I want to be able to enjoy my retirement. So this is the time that we should be thinking about our overall health, mentally, physically, emotionally, all of that. And it's okay to reinvent yourself. So, like I said, I'm reinventing myself. I'm going into something different, something new. And
Right.
I just hope she find what she needs in the end of all of this on the other side.
Yeah. I do too. I do too. And it's so good to reinvent yourself. So I really hope that she comes back. I hope she comes back totally outside the box and something totally different. So we pray for you, Wendy, and we hope that come back strong and full of wisdom
Yes.
and on to your next journey and phase in life. So let's move on, lady, and let's get into a subject dealing with negativity. So we're going to talk about, of course, we this is dealing with people. Everything is dealing with people. So we're going to talk about some of the best methods in filtering out those people that are in your life and they completely offer you no value whatsoever. I think that wow, this can go in so many ways. It can go in, of course, everybody's going to think relationship first
Right.
because most of the time that's it, relationship. But we can go, in other ways as well. We can go relationships, friendships, even colleagues. Because you work with them doesn't mean that you have to befriend them. You can be cordial, courteous, professional with them. But if they absolutely does nothing for you as far as make you a better colleague or a better coworker or a better employee or a better person, then they offer you absolutely nothing, and it's a neat and it's a clean sweep. Hi, hope you have a great day here at work or whatever
Mhm.
it is. Hope you do well today. Have a smooth day.
Yeah.
But one of the best methods in filtering out people, and two methods that I can think of, actually three, that I know has worked and will continue to work. And what I've learned that works well for me. Say what you need up front. I think communication is so huge when you're dealing with people and all
Right.
relationships, in all areas of relationship, romance relationship, romantic relationship, a friendly friendship, working, a professional relationship. Say what you need up front.
Mhm.
Always create healthy boundaries. Always create healthy boundaries between
Mhm.
and the individual or wherever you are, whatever space that is, always create healthy boundaries. I think a lot of us do not understand boundary and the essence of boundaries. Definitely something to look up into, but creating
Mhm.
healthy boundaries between you and that individuals, having standards, having
Yes.
respect for one another. We're talking about boundaries. And so the more, and we're all adults. Everybody's watching this show, adults. So
Mhm.
understand, you know, what boundaries mean. And then also talk about your experience. Like if maybe you didn't set those boundaries initially, because a lot of us don't. And maybe you didn't say what you needed up front. Talk about how that person makes you feel. Talk about how what is your experience with them to them, not to a friend or not to someone else, but to them. If you need some advice on how to approach, of course, you want to talk to someone that may be a little bit more skilled,
Right.
not just about it, but someone that's more skilled in how to communicate negativity or how to communicate, what is it? Constructive criticism to
Mhm.
an individual.
Mhm.
There's ways in how you okay, I need some assistance in this because all of us are,
Yes.
at that. So sometimes you may need a little help in that or a little wisdom in how to approach, in that particular manner. But
Mhm.
definitely talk about, okay, so let's talk about when we get together, this is what goes on and this is what I see, this is what I don't like, this is what I like.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
have that open communication, that open dialogue with them. So those are the three best methods that I have put in place, and they work. So I'm gonna start with Queen A. What are some of your best methods?
Well,
And
for
feel
one, you have to know not when not to waste your energy, right?
yeah,
Because communication is important, but when you try to communicate with somebody who absolutely have no sense is a waste of time, a waste of energy, because all you're going to do is get constant, like, a blockage and fighting, and it turns to a catastrophe. So you want to make sure that who you're communicating with is not toxic, because that's the number one thing. I want to read this quote. I love this quote because it says, "You may not be able to control someone's negative behavior, but you can control how long you participate in it." There's another one that
Mhm.
says, "Protect your spirit from contamination. Limit your time with negative people." So one thing for me,
Mhm.
I am great at blocking people. I will ignore and block a person in a minute. If you're getting on my nerves, if you're disturbing my peace, I'm a peaceful person. So if you're
mhm,
disturbing my peace, and I already speak my piece about it. Like, but I usually tell a person why I'm disconnecting. So I would disconnect real quick from a person if it's not benefiting me. And I said at the show last week about adding value. So you
yeah,
want to look at how a person add values to your life. I mean, before, like, someone was always helping me financially, but the person was a very negative person, always arguing. So I cut all of that out. Like, no, don't give nothing to me. Don't, so you got to make sure, what is a value to you, what's your values, and make sure that people that come into your life is aligned with those values as
yeah,
well. And you just, again, we get it older, so you can't look at how people, you can't look at certain things and fight people. So, it doesn't make sense to fight. Just let it
mhm,
go. And it's hard to let it go sometimes, but again, it's like, remember sometimes we attracted to toxicity. You want hamburgers and French fries, but you need salad and water. So so you got to understand what you need that's going to help you grow in life. And
Mhm.
sometimes getting rid of certain people, even though they're bad for you, you want that, but it's not what you need. So understanding what you need, and do the work so you can get cleansed from that, separate from it,
Mhm.
and heal. Do the work.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Sarah Kay,
Yeah.
what are some of your best methods? So,
Of
terms.
of course, my number one thing is communication.
Yeah,
My thing is, how I filter out those people. I listen to them because people will tell you about who they are
through
Hmm.
by not
conversation.
even telling you who they are. If you just listen to their conversation, you know who they are. So you listen to them and okay, this person is not on the same level as me or talking about the
Hmm.
same things that I am talking about. So I might want to step back a little bit. And sometimes you find yourself already in a friendship with that person because you thought they were different. So,
Mhm,
and then later on, you figure out they're not, who you thought they were. So those type of people, you have to wing them off a little bit at a time, start creating, start being around more positive people or people that are like-minded like you. And,
Hmm.
and I like to try to help people. You kind of bring those things back to them. You try to
mhm,
talk to them and say, hey, why don't you try this? Or why don't you try that? And so if that person is still not willing to accept your positive energy and change, because you can't change people, but you can't change your situation, you can't change your
Yes.
circle. But you can help people become a little bit better. You can help them, and if it doesn't work, then I'm like, okay, well, I need to move on from this person because there's no helping them. There's no changing their mind. They're still negative. They're still, bringing me down with their conversation.
mhm.
So I may need to move on a little bit. And also with the communication, I mean, sometimes you just have to tell them, hey, listen, when I come around you, I feel a certain type of way. What's going on with you? Sometimes it's okay to you have a conversation with them. I ain't saying you got to be their therapist, but figure out what's going on with them. You
Yeah.
know, but me, I just kind of let them go a little bit at a time. To be honest with you, that's just what I do. When you call me, you're like, hey, let's do this. I'm like, I'm not in the mood to do that. Really, I'm not in the mood for you. Because
Right.
you're just not bringing my life any value. And sometimes it can become stressful because these people can drain you. I have a friend, she called them emotional vampires, just sucking the life
Yes.
out of you.
Yes.
So you have to just kind of move on and become more positive. And when they talk negative, you speak positive back to them. And let me tell you something, after a minute, you ain't got to move because they going to move because they going
Oh,
to get tired of hearing you.
oh
Because
yeah.
when they say this is ugly and you keep saying it's beautiful and oh it's this and it's that, they're gonna be like, you know what, I'm about sick of her. So I ain't just gonna give it in to the vibe I'm trying to give, So
Absolutely.
they'll move on and God will move them out of the way too. You know,
Yes.
you pray about it. Hey, God, how do I deal with this person? How can I get rid of this person? Show me who they are. If they're not good for me, move them out of my life. We talk to them just like we talk to each other. So
Mhm.
those are my methods. Just weed them out.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Absolutely.
I had a friend. We were friends for years, and we would always we would end up in an argument. Every conversation would end up in an argument, and it's like I was doing more of the work to try to keep it peaceful. And I remember mentioning on the show last week, like, you always got to make sure of how do you feel after you leave a person over the phone or after you leave their presence or whatever. How do you feel? And, sometimes you may get annoyed or frustrated with a person, but if it's consistent, so you want to think about
Yeah.
how you feel. So this friend, like we were always arguing. Now, for me, I'm very self-aware. So I'm a very self-aware of my flaws. So somebody tell me something, I may get mad, like, well, whatever.
Yeah.
So, but I can accept it and willing to work on a change, especially if more than one person has said it. But I had this friend that constantly, whenever I try to, like talk her through some things, like, hey, let's not be disrespectful. I don't curse at you, don't curse at me. So you got to
Right.
look at how people, like especially you could be respecting a person or treating a person a certain way. If they're not treating you that way, or you feeling certain, like you feeling angry all the time when you speak to the person, it's time to cut it off. Especially if you keep arguing with a person or trying to get a person to correct their ways and they do not, then it's time to just walk away.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I was going to say too, communication is key, and it definitely works for you because when you tell a person, if the person is negative and you tell them how they are,
Mhm.
as an individual, they're either going to straighten up and get it together, or they're going to walk away. So serious get when you
Yeah.
say, hey, they get out.
Hmm.
When you confront them with, okay, so you said this, you did that, and a lot of times, a lot of people can't handle the mirror when they don't like what they see when they look in the mirror.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
almost like when you saw that picture years ago, and you're like, what the hell? Look at me. You didn't like that. You hurry up, you took it off social media. You didn't like what you saw, and so it would be different
Mhm.
this time around. It would be totally different.
Hmm.
So you either do the work to become better, or you just stay of no value. So
Mhm.
it's good to have those communications. And I've been told, and I'm sure others have been told, but I've been told that some things aren't needed. Some things shouldn't be spoken, or some things you shouldn't say. And it's like, well, I think the world is like it is because so many things we shouldn't say or we didn't
Yeah.
say that needs to be stated, because communication is like the tunnel to greatness, to happiness, to success, to everything. It takes the voice, of course, the voice of reasoning. And so when a individual, when you are having that conversation, there are ways, and I mentioned it, there are ways to have a conversation, and there are methods you should use as far as wisdom, and how you should apply it. Like you said, Queen A, I don't know if it's Queen A of Series K, but pray the person, pray about that individual, or pray about the conversation. You could pray about the conversation before you have the conversation. But I know,
Mhm.
especially nowadays, that is almost Oh my God.
You know
And it's
what?
good that people coming into your life of no value. And there's a way that you can either help that individual to become value or
Mhm.
remove them and continue to let them live in their misery. Go ahead, Queenie.
But so I somewhat agree and disagree because again,
Mhm.
communication is important, but you
Mhm.
have to know when. Like sometimes we can't communicate everything. God will
Right.
show you some things it's not meant to be communicated, or sometimes
Mhm.
it's not meant to be communicated in that time. So
Right.
a lot of times we try to force communication on people. So we just got to be mindful of how to apply wisdom because because sometimes when when a person is bullheaded or stubborn, it is
Right.
just you're gonna waste your time
Yeah.
communicating with the person. You
Mhm.
could tell them
Yeah.
like, no, I'm cutting you off because of this. They will never get it and
Mm-hmm.
never understand it. So
Very
sometimes
true.
you just gotta know again not to waste your energy and pray to God, asking for wisdom. Like, should I say
Mm-hmm.
something? Because some things I was aware about other people and I just didn't say anything. And I'm like, okay, I'll let God deal with it. So I'm learning when to hold my tongue and when to speak. I mean, true. I mean, I'm
Mm-hmm.
a truthful person. I'm a very honest person, a person of
Mhm.
integrity. But also, I'm learning about wisdom because I was the type that always go off at the mouth and tell you what I feel. But now I'm understanding that that doesn't always work, especially
Mhm.
when a
Right.
person is not on a level as you to be able to communicate effectively as you do. So you
Yeah.
could tell them whatever you feel like. You could tell them this. Oh, I can't stand you, or this, or this, or this. It doesn't make sense because all you're doing is fighting a losing fight. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very true. I mean, I actually had a conversation
Mm-hmm.
with a licensed therapist, and it was a waste. A waste of time, and it wasn't on the professional level as far as we're
right,
talking about something. I'm sitting in her chair, but it was a conversation, and she was a licensed therapist and in family therapy, but it was a waste. So you're absolutely right. Sometimes it's if they're not ready to receive, or if it's
right.
not meant by God to have that conversation with
Mm-hmm.
them, they are closed on it.
Hmm.
They will remain negative and of no value. And
Mm-hmm.
so
Yes,
sometimes God always, God is wisdom. And so
Yes.
and,
It
right.
is them.
and energy. So you're absolutely right on that.
Mm-hmm.
And so speaking of energy and all that, let's move on to something even greater, y'all. Ooh, let's talk about,
Yes.
wait a minute. What's that show that I couldn't stand? That show that came out that I couldn't stand. What was the name of it with 50 cents? You heard I said 50 cents.
Oh Lord, he got so many shows
I
now.
know.
Power.
Oh, girl, don't talk about power. No, that is my show. Don't you
Yeah,
dare
that
talk
was
about
a good
power.
show. Mm-hmm.
Power, y'all, power. Oh my God, this is such an absolutely amazing, great question. I absolutely love it. Now, HMB fam, does power corrupt people, or does people corrupt, or do people corrupt power? Does power corrupt people, or do people corrupt power? It makes you say, I never thought of it
Mm-hmm.
that way. So just give that long, serious, hard thought. Does power corrupt people, or people corrupt power? Hmm.
Wow.
Now, it can go both ways. Yes, power has corrupted plenty of people, but boy, when us and I always say this now, well, Lord God, I ain't gonna say the class of people, but Lord, when a certain class of people get power, whoo, they do not know how to maneuver, move around, in a fair way. Put it like that, in a fair way. So a lot of people can't handle power. So I would definitely say that this can go both ways.
Yeah.
People definitely, power definitely corrupts individuals all the time, every single day. I mean, they're able to make amazing. Hello, power.
Mm-hmm.
That's my show,
Mm-hmm.
girl. Don't talk about my show. Don't talk about my show. But
So
I
but then we watched the show with so many people that were corrupt, and that when they received the power,
Mm-hmm.
when that son received power from his dad after he's quote unquote died, hello, what happened? What did the son do? How did he start moving around? Corruptly. But
yeah.
anyway,
Yep.
But You know what? I listened to a sermon by TD Jakes. I love his teachings.
Mhm.
And he was talking about sometimes power in the hands of a young person can be corrupted, right?
Yes, Lord.
It can cause damage. And you know, the Bible talks about God says, I give it thee power to get wealth. So in that instance, like say for instance, if I was in my 20s and I got millions of dollars, I probably would have been corrupt with it. So so you know, so
Absolutely.
sometimes I think we have to mature first before we get the power, because we could become
Mhm.
damaged. You know, we can do damage control, we can damage ourselves, damage certain people. But then it's like you know, you're right, it can kind of go both ways. but
Mhm.
um but then again, it's like when people, because yeah, people got to be mature for it. So sometimes it may be people that causes the issues with
Mhm.
power. So
Yeah.
because it's like if you get something, say somebody get millions of dollars and they're not mature mentally, they're gonna do stupid stuff with that money. So so sometimes, yeah, you gotta work both ways. Yeah, that's a very interesting question.
It is. What would you say, Serious K? Tell me about this power.
I would say that people corrupt power. And I say that because power is the thing that you possess.
Yes.
You
Break it down.
take ownership of the power. When
Yes.
power is given to you, you take ownership of it. So you have control of that power and what you do with it.
Mhm.
And when I say that, I'm speaking in terms of president, lawmakers, governors,
Like Trump,
women.
sorry y'all, Trump.
Okay, women,
Mhm.
bosses,
Mhm.
we
Mhm.
all possess power. Now, what you do with it is it determines if you corrupt the power or not. And when we possess power, you know, we expect a person to use it for the greater good.
Exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
you use it to promote positivity, bring about a change, to help somebody. When you possess power, you're supposed to use it for all positive things. But some people get what they call a power trip, and
Yeah.
Yes.
that's when you let, what's the other way around? What was the question? When the power corrupts you,
Corrupt.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
yeah,
Mhm.
right.
when you get on this big power trip because you like, okay, yeah, you know, I got this. Okay, I gotta say it, the police. I got this badge and I got this baton and I got this
Yeah.
gun and they
Yeah.
better. But on the side of the car, what does it say? To
Mhm.
serve and protect.
That's what
But
it
Yes.
says.
now you're on a power trip. So now the
Yeah.
power has control of you
Right.
and you're making all the wrong decisions. You know,
Yes.
Mhm.
you're doing everything all wrong. You're
Mhm.
not using the what God gave you to do what you're supposed to do to protect and serve. But
Right.
now you're letting the power possess you instead of you possessing the power.
Yes.
Mhm.
So, you
People
know,
get in the
we're
way.
supposed to, yeah, we're supposed to have control and take ownership of the power and use it in great ways. And when I say women, y'all know we always go back to Eve because she gave Adam that apple.
Right, right.
Whatever.
But you know, not even just with that, when you said that, Kim, I love you said that, because not even like with the apple, it's like the Lord said, don't, you know, I'm putting this here, don't eat of this apple. So it's like she had been given power, like because now you get to choose and to me, power is choosing too. When you have
Yeah.
choices and options. So that's what happened. She had a choice. And the Lord, like, don't go here, but she knows she had the power to go there and to do it
Yes.
because of her choice. So he had given her the power and free will, and some people don't know to do with free will.
Not
Yes.
at all.
Yes.
Not at all. Not at all. Especially, it goes back to the beginning. They were the first ones. Thanks a lot, Eve. The first ones when he said, "Do not eat of that tree," and they're like, "Of
And then
course."
good God told Adam, but I told you, he gave the power to Eve. Adam took the power that God gave to him and gave it to Eve.
And the
But
serpent,
you,
surely, God. Well,
but
go
you know
ahead.
what? It's like, well, all of them got
First.
cursed for it, right? With the
Mhm.
serpent, it was power
Mhm.
given to the serpent.
Mhm.
Then with
Hmm.
Eve, it was power given to her. Then with Adam, power given to him. But the thing
Mhm.
is, the Lord's like even in that whole story, and I've loved this. I study this story constantly because a lot of mysteries in that. Even in that story, when he could have admitted it and said, okay, I felt prey to it, like, but he had lost his power in that
Mhm.
moment, and
Mhm.
that's why the Lord took it away, because he said, okay, now you look, the power that I have given you, now you abused it and you lost it because you didn't say, you first of all, he didn't protect her and say, you know what, because he blamed her, so he didn't
Yeah.
protect her and say, you know what, it was my doing, I chose, whatever. So it's a lot of mysteries in that
Yeah.
story.
Now you gonna have to work for it all the days of your life.
Right,
Where
exactly.
he had
Because
to get
See,
let's see, right, because power was given to him and had to be
Yeah.
taken away because he didn't know how to use, and then he became submissive, right? Because then he did.
Yeah.
Well, so this, there's a lot of mysteries because then he played the
mhm.
female role, right? But she tempted him, no. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
we got,
It is a lot
you know
of
what, women, we got power. We can
We
tempt, right?
do. We do.
Yes, we do.
Uh-huh.
The question was asked: would you prefer the money or would you prefer the power? And somebody
Wow.
mentioned that power gives you
Mm.
options, choices, and
But do
just
you believe that money gives you power?
money definitely gives you power. But what if you came into this world and you inherited power? So you inherited power. So power is maybe the ownership of this amazing, a great company or whatever. Like a lot of these major companies, their kids will inherit power. The grandkids, the great grandkids, the great grandkids
Mhm.
will inherit power. And so um, you know you got this power because you got this business that have accumulated tons and tons and tons and tons of money.
But
But what if you have but think about some people have money, and it's a lot of people, especially think about, God, I hate to go that way, but I'm just
I
trying to
know. I
give
know.
okay, I'm trying to give a good example as far as when it comes to money. Like
Mhm.
bad people may have a lot of money. Put it like that.
Mhm.
Bad people may have money. So those type of people may have money, a lot of money, but they ain't got no
but
power.
I
But
have
you
no
can
power.
buy a White House. They
if
can't
you
go.
have power, if you have power, you can get money.
You can get money.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Right.
You got power. You can get whatever it is that you focus
Right.
on or whatever you ask for, whatever you request. If you have power, there's one person that has a lot of power. I don't know, many have been said allegedly that he ain't got no money. He really don't have no money. He's
Right.
orange. He's
But
orange. I'm
don't
just
know how to
saying,
use
he's
his power. But
orange. He's got hair all over the place.
Wait, how
And
his mouth? How you do his mouth?
I heard though he has a lot of power, but I
Mhm.
heard that the money was kind of finicky as far as
Yeah,
mhm.
So
and he filed bankruptcy several times. So,
he was
power. He filed bankruptcy several times.
several times.
And
So
So,
see, when you have power, like I said earlier, when you have power, you have control.
you have
yes,
He's got
control.
control over people. Like you say, you can have power and not have money. You can have power and inherit this company, but you got these people under you that stand by you, that's willing to do whatever it is to make the company grow, to make it better, to help you make the money.
Absolutely,
So yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. How can you? I mean, how can you bypass all of the requirements or the preliminaries to become the president of the United States? And here you come. Just from where?
Yeah.
What do you have? What kind of background do you have? But because you got power,
Power. Mm.
influence,
Hmm.
power. So power is extremely powerful, and the Bible even talks about, like we mentioned, it talks a great deal about power and depth, and it says few things about money, but it talks more about powers and how we should be mindful, how we're not to wrestle against flesh and blood,
Yes.
but against rulers, against principalities, against the
mhm,
cosmic powers, but or against the powers
mhm.
Hmm.
over this present darkness, and that encompasses a lot. So we need to be
Yes,
mindful of how important it is to be powerful, and those that are in Christ are they have power that they're not even aware of yet. Not even aware of yet, because things change, people change, everything around us change
yes,
constantly. We're constantly, as a people, we're constantly evolving. We're either evolving or we're dying. So it's one or the other. And if we're evolving, we're coming into the newness of power, the
mhm,
newness of something. Serious Cat, I think you mentioned earlier, like, later in life, as you continue to grow and grow and grow, You want to reinvent yourself. You discover you can do more. You can do something
Right.
totally different than what you didn't know or wasn't aware
Mhm.
of at the age of 30 or at the age of
Right.
25, but now at the age of 45. Oh my God. Or at the age of 46 or whatever. I can do this. Or I
Mhm.
want to do this. I want to
Right.
do more philanthropy. You know, you change.
Mhm.
You become more powerful within yourself. Queen, you seem like you want to say something. Oh, you look like you want to say something. Well, this has been a great show. We just love, 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 love to meet our HMB fam every single week. You know, of course, unless it's a holiday, we love to meet and share these good, good, deep, deep, deep conversation. I believe tonight it was really deep and very educational and very
Yeah.
Yes.
entertaining as well. Money, sex, and power. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe on our YouTube page, like and share on our Facebook, like our Instagram, and join our Patreon. I'm telling you, the link is in the comments. We have some really good things that are coming up. So please join the Patreon.
Yes.
Um, what's the discount on it? What's the price?
So
Three.
it's six. Oh Lord, it's one's for 20 to VIP, and you get lots of great promotions and giveaways with the VIP. So that's 20 per month. I believe the other one is 6.99. But we did have some type of promotion if you join now, which I believe is maybe 3.99 or something like that. But you definitely want to just go ahead and join because I promise you, you will not regret it.
Yes, absolutely. So, well, we're going to continue our theme Spirit Month, and we shall see you all next week. We love you and have a great, great, great next week. Good
Good
night.
night.